You know, all of these new business gurus on Instagram that come out, basically they've built an online coaching. It's not business. They've built online clients and now they're business gurus. They remind me of, hi, my name's Troy McClure from Simpsons. Remember him? My name's Troy McClure and I'm... Is that how it went? Welcome to the Intro Workout Stack with me, TM Cycles. You'll notice something new in this stack. Creatine. Got this yesterday. Did that pick it up? I was a bit too far away. We're coming towards the end of a training block. Got about 3 or 4 weeks left in me, I reckon. Joe's battered. Josh is okay. I'm a little battered, but I'm hoping Centre Parks next week could mitigate a little fatigue. I'm still training out there. I'm going to Gaines Gym in Bedford. So in goes some creatine for a bit of assistance regarding strength. We have our standard Recarb by Foresight, a fantastic value for money intracarbohydrate powder. Again, relying on that cluster dextrin, that cyclic dextrin. And we've got our supplement needs duo. So I'll have a couple of scoops of the Electrolyte Plus if I'm training fasted. So tomorrow's session with the boys, the legs, I'll wake up and double scoop that. And when I've had my food as I have today and a little bit more hydration and some more nutrients on board, I'll just have 1 scoop intra. And then we've got the EAA Plus. This is the 90s pick and mix. Because I'm a 90s baby, the combination of them all go very well. It's always hard when you are having like electrolytes that are flavoured, EAs that are flavoured, but the combination goes well. Creatine's unflavoured. Mix it in the in our shaker, and then we'll just slowly sip throughout the whole session. Oh, can't beat a fresh tub of Naughty Boy. One of my favourite pre-workouts. I just love it. I just love it.
When I've been a boy, act like you ain't seen him, boy. I'm from the dirty south. Exactly. We're from the bloody dirty south, Chip. Okay, you wanna send for Storms, you send for us, kid.
Steph London on a date night. Police lights give me anxiety. Mac D's, they don't wanna hire me.
Fantastic session at Alpha Health yesterday. Osteopath, a few minutes for me, which is good because King's Gym to go and see Lauren's too much of a boot. But some nice adjustments, but giving some exercises to do pre-push, just because my shoulder's having a little bit of a problem. Same as Josh, both coming towards the tail end of this training block. But yeah, got to increase the frequency of seeing him to once per week, just so we can get as much out of this training block as possible. First exercise going straight into our Cybex incline. Need to check last week, I think it was a 5 kilo and a 2.5, so maybe try and go 5.5 this week.
Yeah, here we go, press hard. Good. How we do? Yeah, good. Moving now, Tom, come on. Come on, Tom, here we go. Press. Come on. Yeah, come on. Press. Good. Go! Come on. Little Tom, come on then. Come on then. Now, Tom. Drive. Yeah, good.
5.5 for 6, 5 for 8. So 5 key up from last week, same reps. Getting to that point now where I just want to just go all out on strength and not necessarily improve on rep schemes. Sure, we could have kept the same weight on the bar last week and then try and progress that rep scheme. With a couple of weeks left on this training block, I just want to get as strong as possible on these movements. So the goal was 5 plates on a top set at the start of this, and now we're doing 5 plates when I back off for 8. So more than progressed and kickballing to hit. I think they've got a Cybex incline in this Gaines Gym in Bedford. If not, we can just incorporate some form of incline. But next movement we'll go into reverse banded Smith.
Good, Tom, it's moving. Come on. Find that range now. Find that range now. Come on. Here we go. Drive now. Come on.
Oh, can you hear it? The rain? I feel like the older I get, I turn into a right cosy bear. Hope next week in Centre Parks it's raining and I can put the fire on. Another successful push session done. 2 scoops of support max needed. We've got legs tomorrow. I'm gonna flip that switch, getting that parasympathetic state as soon as possible, not only to drive recovery, but also from a digestion aspect. So those asking about KSM66 or Support Max, a fantastic tool, can be utilised post-workout, before bed, or what I tend to do is get it around about that 7 o'clock window. As soon as I come off that laptop, as soon as I come off the Mac, it's a sign for me, bang. Although if I'm playing Warzone, I won't have it, because there's instances where I'll have like a cognitive support supplement, play Warzone, and it will stimulate me. So be very careful. Be very careful with that. But a fantastic supplement. I take 2 scoops of these when we've had a very taxing session with the boys. I'll wait for my heart rate to get back down, and then we can go into post-workout meal. Post-workout time, ladies and gents. Protein source of choice, the 5 egg whites. We've got our Kellogg's Crunchy Nut, 50 grams. We've got our 2 crumpets. The Sainsbury's crumpets I find just cook a lot better. Inside and out, far better than any other that I've tried. So we've got Sainsbury's crumpet, a little bit of jam on those. And then we've got our 2 Rice Krispies squares bar in chocolate flavour. God bless Amazon next day delivery. So for my Tuesday sessions, I've got posterior chain. I've got RDL programmed. Last week I was beltless, 180 for 6. This week I tried a belt, was just lying around the gym. It was one of them ones with the 2 prongs on it. And increase in load, 185, and increase in reps. So 185 for 8. Tried Josh's on the other day. I think it's a Rise one, but it takes a while to come from Canada. So I just looked on reviews, and the RDX one had the same sort of clasp, and we'll try this next week. We'll really try and get as close to that 200 key RDL as possible. I'll try and put some footage on the screen from how this week's RDL moved, but it moved nice. You know, I'm in that position where I'm in that kind of honeymoon period where I'm close to a deload, but I'm also at the peak of strength. So it's just about really recovering and really managing fatigue as best as possible. Meal number 3 is going in with our health supplementation. Those health supplements consist of omega-3. I take 5, so 5,000 milligrams. I have my CV stack, my liver stack, and my Astrag Flow, and then the vitamin D and K2s from Holland & Barrett. A couple of sprays. Now we are entering these winter months. I slack on greens, especially when we are getting deeper and deeper into an off-season, just from the aspect of satiating and making you feel full. We'd rather get that food from carbohydrates, fats, and protein. But do not neglect your fruit and veg. Sometimes I just have a smoothie, blend it up, and I tend to have leafy greens with my fish and chicken. This is the first time trying Dr. Dean's cherry. Green powders are hit and miss. I mean, I used to stomach the Holland & Barrett one. It was awful. So anything with a bit of flavour. It's not bad. The cherry comes in a little weak. You just get that sort of soily, dirty, but I don't mind that. It makes me feel like I'm healthy. If you roll it to the tip of your tongue, the cherry comes in. Just neck it. I've put the tungsten mode on my white balance. As you can tell, I cannot stand orange, huey kind of vibes. Makes you look good. What's for dinner? For dinner is, I don't think I've ever shown you my fridge. Not a lot going on. We're going to Centre Parks next week. Don't you know? We're having chicken today. A little bit of salad, tomato, and one of my favourite. Even the microwave, a bit of orange in the microwave actually. But this is my favourite Tilda rice. It's the coconut chilli and lemongrass. A little high in fat. It's like 14 grams of fat in the pack, but it's worth every gram. Well, that's Kuchen. We can have a little update on food at the moment. So Callum's upped carbs by 25 on a training day. Rest day food to stay pretty much the same. Scale weight is creeping up at a really nice rate at the moment. As for the last 10 weeks, in terms of sort of protein, fat and carbohydrate choices, everything has been the same over the 10 weeks, and what has happened is when Cal increases food, an adjustment is just made to whatever meal I find necessary. So 25 grams of carbs may come from an additional amount of chips, or it may come from an additional amount of rice or pasta, or it may just be simply added in an additional Rice Krispie square bar to my post-workout meal. So this is the lowest amount of food that I've ever been on, and lowest amount of anabolics I've ever been on in a gaining phase in an off season. This is week number 10. Testosterone at 200 milligrams, Primo at 200 milligrams. So as before, week 10 will be the sort of point where we'd be looking to taper off now and go into some form of cruise, because we've been running NPP and test prop and T-bowl, but this time it's been very basic, and the biggest contributing factor has been training with the boys, you know, driving intensity and strength up. And it just goes to show, you know, in previous blasts, in previous off seasons, I've probably not attacked it efficiently and effectively. This one's been superb, and health markers at this point and appetite are pretty shot. You know, 10 weeks into an MPP, testosterone and like a T-bowl cycle, I'll get blood work done and it'll be off a little bit. Blood pressure's still in the sort of 115/60. Blood work will be done in a couple of weeks' time, and fingers crossed we should be in a really strong position to either continue, slowly creep up Primo dose even a little bit more towards the tail end of this year, or just keep driving food up. But in a very good place. You know, I'm hungry. I've never been hungry 10 weeks into a gaining phase. I've always been like, oh, I'm like, right, I can't wait for my next meal. So yeah, maybe we'll do like a little transformation video, but I think I'll put some images up at the start of the video. And it's always hard because lockdown for me was pretty piss poor in terms of training and body composition. Went into a mini cut which flopped completely. So going into an off season, going to a gaining phase where body composition isn't as tight and isn't as good as you want it to be, it's always hard. You know, it's always in the back of your mind, shit, you know, am I gaining fat mass here? Keep those frequent check-ins with your coach, and Cal's come back and said, look, last 10 weeks, body composition has stayed pretty much the same. You know, so that's always good to hear when you start a phase at whatever number we were at, and we're now closing on 100. So yeah, in a very good place. What we're in October, November, December, January. So we've still got 4 months, 4, 8, 12, 16. If we can do what we did in those 16 weeks and the 10 weeks we just did, then very excited. Okay, so last meal of the day, we've got our protein. Whey is a fantastic way just to top your protein up at the end of the day. Usually it's about half a scoop for me. I have some fruit. I like fruit before bed, always have done. So I have this pack from Tesco. I have some blueberries in my oats, and I have my 4 crumpets. And that is me done for the day. Big sleep tonight because we've got legs tomorrow with the boys. Vamos a bailar esta noche. You know, when I used to hear people say, oh, I'm getting nervous before today's session, I used to think, oh, give it a rest. These leg sessions I now get nervous for. Chest, like pressing, shoulders, I'm okay. With legs, I find that when you start loading up, in particular leg presses and hack squats, where you've got like 8, 9, 10 plates aside, and the difference is that you could get crushed to death here, and it is a little bit nerve-wracking.
It's cold today, isn't it?
It's cold. I'm a bit surprised with that face. What do you mean? Oh, the wide angle. Yeah, like I mean, when I do that, it's even worse. First exercise done. 2 sets of hamstring curls. This posterior session every Tuesday is really pulling lifts up for movements like ham curls. Pretty much on par with Joe now in that particular movement, which is nice. On to leg extensions, and then we go against the hack again.
Now you're working. Yeah, good. One time. Good time. Secure, mate. Good. Yeah, come on.
Gotta beat those numbers, Tom. Gotta beat those numbers.
Good. Come on.
Yeah. Oh.
Keep that moving. Keep that moving. And again. Yeah. Keep moving through. Keep moving through. And again. Two. Come on then. Yeah. Come on. Another one there.
Hard. Move it, Tom. Come on. Good. Good. Yes. There's more, Tom. Come on. Good. Yes.
Get this on me, get this on me.
I'm right here.
Here we go. Number one. Come on. Drive up now. Come on.
Touch it. Good. Finish.
Fucking feeling it today. All feeling it today. Hack's just buried us. Managed 5.5 on top for 7, I think it was. And then 5 plates for, I'll have to check the footage. For soulless. Last exercise of the day, we've got our cluster hammer strength. And then we're done. Fresh. Freshness. Fresh. Yeah.
Come on.
Next one's easy as well. Come on. For it. Up. Yeah. And again. Control that eccentric. Squat. Yeah. And then we drive.
Ah!
Easy. And again.
Oh shit! Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Ah.
Control that eccentric. Think about it.
That's it. Come on.
Think about it. Extending the flexion. All through the squats. Connect to that muscle. Well, let's connect now. Come on then. Do this and we're in the clear stuff. Let's go. Come on. Here we go. The wash. Yeah. Good. Come on then. And again. Come on.
Last one.
Here we go. Drive. Come on.
Was gonna go and plot up after a brutal leg session in Nando's. Thought brilliant. Half the restaurant is empty. In the queue, an hour 20. I said, excuse me, this half the restaurant is empty. We're understaffed, so basically we're only allowed a set number of people per staff member. I'm getting to that level now of coronavirus. I'm just a bit fucked off. I'm just over it now. I'm over it. So I'm gonna go home instead. Okay, I'm gonna leave the vlog there. Another very successful, productive week ticked off. Going into week 11 of the off season tomorrow. Managed to stabilise around the 100 kilo mark the last 3 days, which has been fantastic. Probably the healthiest, sort of happiest. Plus 100 kg, 101 this morning. Gonna check in with Cal now. Just gonna have a nice Epsom salt bath. Ready for another week of training next week in Centre Parks. I'll tell you what, I'm loving this lens. The new R6 and lens setup is very nice. I highly recommend if anyone's thinking about it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the vlog. I think I'll do a Centre Parks vlog. We'll take it back to the OG times when me and Elle used to go to Centre Parks. I'll take the camera, why not? I'll see you there. Thank you, good night, much love.